What's up, Warrior Surf community? My name is Bill Jarboe, and I have been asked to be your Warrior Surf Veteran of the Month. And I have to say that when I was approached by the admin to share a little bit of my testimony with you about the Warrior Surf, I, I got pretty excited because this community is absolutely incredible. And if there's anything that I can do to help grow this community and foster a more loving atmosphere, then I'm more than willing to, because of how much it's done for me and my family. So with that being said, I am an Army veteran. I was in the military from 2004 to 2008, and I spent a little bit of time overseas in Iraq. I was an infantryman and spent the majority of my time in Baghdad during 06, 07 with the big surge that was going on over there. And when I transitioned out of the military, I got home from combat in September and was home on the streets as a civilian by the end of November, beginning of December. So I realized later on in life just how important it is to have programs such as the Warrior Surf Foundation to help assist veterans in transitioning back to civilian life, or even just a veteran that's just needing to find help to gain more control over their lives and learn a little bit more about themselves, which is exactly what the Warrior Surf Foundation did for me. I had known about the Warrior Surf Foundation for quite some time and had actually lived in the Charleston area for around 9 years. And due to some of the schedule constraints in my work schedule, there was just no way that I could commit 12 weeks of time to come down and do the program. But had met a couple of the alumni through the program at Chico Feo and was super stoked to hear about it. And then in 2022, I had a little bit of a health scare and decided to move to Kentucky, which is my hometown, my home state, and be close to some family, because the health scare put a little bit of perspective into just how precious life is. And I started to design my life in more of a way that I wanted to live it at that point. So we were living in Kentucky for a year and a half, and as time went on, we all realized that it is not where my family wanted to be living long term. And so we made the move back to South Carolina, and man, I have to say that it truly is pretty amazing when you leave somewhere and then you realize and you come back and how it feels, because it feels like I felt called to this place again. So as we were packing up the house, I was talking to my wife about, how I can integrate myself into this community and go through the program. And she encouraged me to. And when we were packing up the house, I was contacting the Warrior Surf or their website and filling out the application to become one of their cohorts that was starting in the later months of 2023. I started in August of 2023 and graduated in December 2023. And during my time with the Warrior Surf, I learned so much about myself and my abilities and the reasons why I tick the way I tick in my brain. And that was absolutely beautiful. But not just that, I also was able to gain some confidence in my body and my abilities on the board, which was super helpful too, because again, I love nature. Nature is where I go to find myself and find peace. And what better place to do that than the ocean? So as I was going through the program, I met with Rosario 7 times throughout the program for the wellness sessions and gained a ton of perspective about myself and the way I perceive the world. And in turn, learning that awareness, I was able to shift my mindset in many ways. And it became absolutely beautiful in a sense that like my own friends and family were seeing changes within me because of it. So I definitely think that the applied evolutionary therapy coaching that they do is absolutely amazing and a probably one of my favorite parts of the program. As much as I love surfing and as much as I love yoga, I liked doing that work more because it was challenging and it made me truly think about myself and my perspectives on a much broader scale. I also worked with Mimi with yoga, and it was really cool how I was able to sit down with her and see her pay attention to my body and how I moved and listen to what my groans and aches were and have her teach me how to use my body as a teacher and move it in ways that feels good. But not just that, pay attention to my nervous system as I'm doing search movements to tailor my yoga practice to be more customizable to my body type and the injuries that I've sustained, which was absolutely amazing. And then my surf instructor, although he wasn't always my instructor, Aaron was the number one guy that I went to, but I met with all of them, and they all worked with me on an intimate basis, teaching me better ways to maneuver in the water or more efficient ways to pop up. So I'm super thankful for that because they were able to take my surfing skill level to a much higher level. And I had been surfing for 7 years prior to doing this and only had one lesson that my wife had got me for my birthday one year. But working with the instructors at Warrior Surf, they were really able to hone me in on what I was doing wrong and just make my ride in the water so much more better and fun and energizing. And when you're out there in the water, all you have is that present moment. All you have is the movement of your arm paddling into the wave and the ocean moving you exactly where you needed to be. I found it absolutely amazing that when I moved back to South Carolina, how everything fell into place like it needed to be. And Warrior Surf really became a headrest for my soul. And for that, I'm truly grateful. As my session went on, I sustained another medical emergency in my right lung, and for the second time in 2 years it had collapsed on me, and it really took its toll on my brain and my body this time around because I had to go through surgery. But not just that, the psychological effects of it happening again in such a short amount of time really got me scared, and again put more perspective in just how precious life is. So as I was healing and still being a part of the community, I actually didn't meet requirements of graduation. I was 1 week behind on the surfing aspect. But because I had excelled so much in the yoga and in the applied evolutionary therapy coaching with Rosario, and my surfing skill level elevated, the admin was gracious enough to let me still graduate with my cohort and finish the program in December. And with that, also came an invitation to go to Guatemala for a surf retreat in El Paradón. So as I'm healing and I'm going through this process in my brain and what's going on in my body and all this worry and stuff that honestly I shouldn't have been filling my brain with was taken over, the trip to Guatemala shook that all up. It gained me so much more confidence in my body. It gained me so much more at ease in my mind, and it helped me come back to just be better for myself. And if you graduate this program and you're invited to go on one of these special, intimate trips, I encourage you to go because of just how amazing they are. Every day is yoga, every day is meditation, and every day is fellowship, and every day is yoga. And it was absolutely an incredible time. And although the doctors knew, and I knew that I was not cleared to go and do anything too strenuous on my body, the doctors knew that I wasn't one to follow the rules and actually ended up getting the water. And I'm so glad that I did, because the thoughts of not being as healthy as I was and capable as I was melted away in the washing machines of El Paradón. I got my butt handed to me for like 4.5 days straight until I found the right board and started riding waves in the water there left and right, and was absolutely incredible time. But all in all, the Warrior Surf program to me wasn't just a program. It became like another family, and not just another family, but a community that I want to be a part of, that I want to serve, not just the community and the new cohorts coming in, but the organization as a whole. They create such an atmosphere of unjudgmental love and encouragement that it's so hard to not want to be a part of it. So since my graduation, I have actually been invited to become a surf instructor and an ambassador, and I will continue to be an instructor for as long as they allow me to, and I will continue to help bring awareness to this organization and people to this organization that need it, because I know that I needed it when I transferred out of the military. I know I needed something like this. And it's absolutely beautiful and amazing to see the new recruits come in, and how when they leave the program versus when they come in, just how much more awareness and confidence they have within them. I just want to reiterate, like, if you're a veteran and you're looking for another or a program to help you find what you're looking for, the Warrior Surf is it, man. Like, it is incredible. And just know that as you're going through your day-to-day and you're thinking about this, you're not alone. There are hundreds or thousands of veterans that are thinking the way that you're thinking. I have always considered myself the odd man out. The way I think is sometimes pretty weird. The way I do things is a little bit out of the norm, which is totally fine. And going through the training really allowed me to find my authenticity and my true self, to be better for my friends and family and myself, and show up better for the world. And that's what it's all about. And that's why the Warrior Surf, to me, exists, is because of that reason. But anyways, I don't want to take too much more of your time, and I really do appreciate you letting me take the time and share a little bit of my testimony with you about the Warrior Surf. If you have any questions, please go to the website and take a look around. It is amazing and you won't regret it. And just know you're not alone. Get in this, and hopefully I can see you out in the water one of these days.